Your parents could buy a house on one income, a single salary, no side hustle, no passive income strategy, no second job. They bought a house, raised a family, took a vacation every summer, and somehow, retired comfortably. And you are sitting here with two incomes, a college degree. And you still cannot figure out how to afford a down payment. So, what happened? Was your parents' generation just tougher, more disciplined, better with money? The game changed, and nobody told you the new rules. But here's the part that almost nobody is talking about. It is not just the economy. It is also your brain. And the two things are working together against you in ways that are making you feel poorer, spend more, and fall further behind, even as you work harder than ever. Today, we are going to break down exactly what is happening, economically, psychologically, and what you can actually do about it. Every generation in modern history has looked at the one before it and said some version of the same thing. How did they do it? Baby boomers watched their parents, the greatest generation, build wealth out of almost nothing after a depression and a world war. They marveled at it. Gen X watched the boomers buy property in their mid-20s for less than the cost of a car today. They wondered how. Millennials watched Gen X ride the longest bull market in history and retire with pensions that no longer exist. And now Gen Z is watching millennials stress about money they appear to have on the outside and wondering if stability is even possible anymore. Each generation genuinely feels poorer than the last, and in many measurable ways, they are. But the full story is not just about wages and housing prices. It is about something deeper. It is about how prosperity warps psychology, how rising expectations rewire the brain, and how the very definition of enough keeps moving, faster than your paycheck ever will. Let us get into it. The economic shift nobody fully prepared you for. Let us start with the numbers. Because before we get to psychology, you need to understand that this is not all in your head. In 1970, the median home price in the United States was about $23,000. The median household income was around $9,000. That means a home cost roughly 2.5 times annual income. Today, the median home price is pushing $400,000. The median household income is around $75,000. That is more than 5 times annual income. And in major cities, closer to 10 or 12 times. That is not a small shift. That is a structural transformation in the relationship between work and wealth. And it is not just housing. College tuition has increased by over 1,200% since 1980, roughly 8 times faster than wages. Healthcare costs have tripled as a share of income. Childcare in many cities now costs more than rent did a generation ago. Meanwhile, wages, adjusted for inflation, have been almost flat. For the bottom 80% of earners since the 1970s, workers are producing more. They're just not being paid proportionally more for it. And the safety nets, largely gone. Defined benefit pensions have been replaced by defined contribution plans like 401k, which means the risk has shifted from corporations to individuals. Individuals who are not equipped to manage that risk. So, yes, the math is harder, the obstacles are real, but the math alone does not explain everything, because plenty of people still build wealth, and plenty still end up broke, which means something else is going on. As societies get wealthier, people do not feel better off. They often feel worse. This is called the hedonic treadmill. You adapt to everything. Every upgrade feels good for a while. Then it becomes normal. Then it becomes the floor. And you cannot imagine going back. Every generation inherits the ceiling of the last as their floor, which means every generation becomes more expensive to satisfy. Now add social media. Before, you compared yourself to a few people. Now, millions. And not average people. The best versions of the most successful people. Your reference point shifts. You feel behind. Even if nothing actually got worse, And when you feel behind, your brain stops thinking long-term and starts trying to feel better now. Your brain does not judge from zero. It uses reference points, and those reference points are constantly being manipulated. Expensive homes make normal homes feel cheap. Luxury cars make mid-range cars feel reasonable. Social media makes extreme lifestyles feel normal. Your expectations rise faster than your income. And that is why people earning good money still feel broke. When people feel like they are falling behind, they do not save more. They spend more. They buy things to close the gap between who they are and who they feel they should be. This is compensatory consumption, and it is everywhere. Your brain is not broken, but it is outdated. It is chasing short-term rewards, reacting to social pressure, struggling under stress, and holding on to old beliefs. None of this is your fault, but it is your responsibility. Because the real gap is not math, it is psychology, and psychology can change. You can build systems, you can question your impulses, you can reframe your thinking, and you can rewrite your identity. This is the real game. And now, you understand it.